Dear Diary, in the last days I've learned a lot about the girls' world again. First of all, my first real affair with a southerner might not be an affair, at least according to the southerner. But I believe that Francesca from the ice cream parlor down the street is just ashamed of me, now where our spontaneous affairs come to light. I tell you, you'll find more spine in a handicapped stand than inside this meta mood swings. By the way, isn't it wrong to call that area stand as well? Out of nowhere she meant,
Joachim, it's just part of the game that I smile towards the customer and of course give him extra crumbles. And to be honest, I see no way how you could interpret this as a demand for dick pics and moaning records. But if so, then at least you could have pumped your dwarf instead of filming it when it vegetates around like a depressive harbor rat on Valium. Your pitiful disturbance on 2 legs doesn't even know how to harass correctly.
Definitely sounds like a far-fetched excuse for a sneaky betrayal, right, dear diary? Well, so far just Francesca's quite debatable viewpoint, but I never thought that the common opinion of the rest would also rather support her perspective. For example, her father smashed my window and threw a dead fish into my room. Thereupon my father ran head over heels to her father to thank him for some pleasant offer. Even mom was over the moon and called the craftsman because suddenly she wants to realize her long-awaited room breakthrough. To be honest, that confused me a bit. I mean, is it that important to have live audience when you're fucking? And if so, does their own son have to sacrifice himself for that fetish? By the way, my little self didn't like Signore Calici's action at all. Why couldn't he just said, "Hello Joachim, old pal. Unfortunately, I didn't like the way you flirted with my daughter. Could you please stop that?" But no, apparently it's much funnier to foist me a tempting fish, just for the sake of revealing itself as already expired. One of my tougher midnight snacks. So I realized that Signore Calici has no humor. Who has no humor too? That's the juvenile judge. I must keep a distance of 50 meters from Francesca. I must keep a distance of 100 meters from Sophie. I think it's ridiculous that I have to keep a distance of 100 meters from Sophie. Like I wanted to send the photos to this fat witch as well. My paws were smeared. At least Signore Calici has to keep a distance of 100 meters from me as well. My friends advised me keeping the distance of 1000 meters from his parlor. And I had to delete Snapchat. There it really has to stop somewhere. 2 trimesters of law, an ugly robe, and someone directly thinks he's a crazy motherfucker and has the power over 900 flames. But don't mind, some hillbillies won't steer Joachim Pichelheimer off course. A real pickup artist bites a rotten trout from time to time. It's just important that you never give up, my dear diary. The best proof for this is my latest acquaintance with another southerner. Exceptionally, the existence of this romance is confirmed by both sides. I'm talking about the hot-blooded Arabian from the internet. And no, dear diary, you old rascal, I'm neither talking about the horse, nor do I claim again having chances with Miss Khalifa. These early puberty hopes are long gone. Don't forget, there's a reason why I lost pages 50 to 360. No, our Aisha isn't even really from the internet, but Morocco, Lebanon, around that corner. It seems to be a quite colorful hood. After I asked her how her grandfathers worked these pyramids out, she explained, "The Orient is an artificial political model including thousands of large and completely different folks. You can't generalize all these cultural groups." But don't ask me what exactly bothered her. Of course I know cliches are just based on superficialities. At least I know it since I know her. Aisha's brothers aren't building bombs in their garage, and she doesn't serve as one of the 40 virgins for these geeks who obeyed all the rules. I even asked her these funny things to start some small talk. Well, it definitely broke the ice, but I feel she didn't really got the jokes. Anyhow, it turned out that I had to win her heart back. Therefore, I wanted to show her how kindly my family treats weird-looking people. So on our second date, I especially let my old man welcome her, thus he could be able to present himself in the best manner. Moreover, it was my ABBA hour. Between 1 and 2 o'clock, I bang Björn and Benny's tunes so hard that I never hear the doorbell. In retrospect, the idea of Dart fired a bit back. Though in his defense, you also have to recognize the unlucky circumstances. Because the good boy didn't have his glasses on, he could see as clear as a mole which you put a liter of pepper spray in the eyes. Furthermore, Aisha hasn't shaved herself the week before, thus she might have looked a bit hairy. Consequently, you could also accuse her of trying to cause a misunderstanding. Long story short, after my pa opened the door, he looked at Aisha once and instantly ran back to the kitchen, took a glass of honey, removed the top like it was a grenade, and threw the glass over the invader into the front yard. Then he begged, "Please poo, it's all yours, get the sweet and spare at least me and my wife." Aisha not only understood the confusion, she even played along. She stretched her arms in the air and made an "Urrrr." This was already enough to calm my dad. although I don't know why a wild-gone Wookiee should be a lower threat than a grizzly. We went to my room and of course I could say lol she was a true bomb on bed, but you know me, I don't use such obvious sayings. Besides, her performance wasn't really that great, not to mention mine. Maybe our pathetic pelvis performance was influenced by our quite out-of-the-box roleplay idea. To joke about the stereotypes on our first date, we decided to learn about our cultures through traditional clothing. While I jumped into an erotic NS uniform, for which I scanned all the black markets of the world, and sad fact I developed a paranoia because suddenly the constitutional protection is interested in me, she just covered herself in a simple burqa, as if it would be sexy to shuck a dark curtain while she could imagine getting laid by Rommel. Or admittedly, maybe my unhealthy body shape might have reminded her of Joey Goebbels, the old limping leg. Anyway, that's why I was suspicious in the beginning, but at least it was like I was banging one of the ring wraiths from Middle-earth. Well, that doesn't sound that nice either, but believe me, never before I felt more powerful. Who can claim to humiliate Sauron's bros so hard? For sure not Frodo the little pussy. You know some controversial military marches reenacting Joachim Pichelheimer, Climber of the Mountains of Mordor.